Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to this SP Patrons video where today I'm going to be making a custom monthly music review for Yum Ren for a track by Mai Kuraki titled Tonight I Feel Close to You. And if we switch over to here, we have it on YouTube. I believe this is off of the If I Believe album, if I'm not mistaken. We are going to listen through this track from start till finish and we're going to hear what we think. Thanks to Yum Ren for their suggestion. Let's go. Time has passed, I walk like a shadow. Her voice is beautiful. There's a sense of vulnerability behind it. You know, it works really, really well with these really soft electric keyboard parts and the synths as well. There's a lot of brightness in there. It really suits her vocal range. It has got that 80s vibe with it, with all those little synth shimmers and stuff like that going around the headphones. Interesting vocal harmonies there as well. There's a little bit of tension there. She's got an interesting accent as well, but the notes are coming through clearly. That was a lovely way of holding that though. The way, you know, I like the way that we had those little bits of inflection there, little bits of emphasis in time with the other parts of the rhythm there. It helped guide us alongside the other little percussive bits and the other parts of the harmony that are leading us into this next section here. Oh. Okay. Alright. Okay, alright, so we've got some interesting harmonies going up high here. She likes to separate her like main voice from these upper register bits that fill up the frequency spectrum really, really well. I mean, obviously she's not a bass or anything like that, so she's got that low end with the synth instruments there, which is nice. Or no, that's actually, I think that actually may be a bass guitar if I'm not mistaken with the drum kit. Nice cooler response there with those sidechain vocals, or the sidepan vocals. I like the fact that we're kind of holding back a little bit on some of the parts of their delivery after the chorus, reducing the intensity of that performance and the output and the perceived loudness of it to kind of contrast between that chorus and verse section. Nice break there as well, it's cool. Talking about easing their pain, the separation of being apart, you know. It sounds like a really stressful situation, to be honest. There's a lot of uncertainty in the way she's singing, despite how much she cares for that person. It sounds sort of tumultuous. It's an interesting impression to have, but I kind of think that makes it a little bit less cheesy, a little bit less inauthentic. It's almost like love isn't just black and white, and you've got to kind of feel out things out and kind of figure it out for yourself, you know? Ain't always easy, but often it's worth it when you get there. I like the fact that we're reinstantiating these chord progressions in the previous verse and keeping a sense of similarity there as we develop the story. This bridge is a lot more positive and major-ish. Which makes sense because we're talking about the raindrops turning to blue skies and the sunshine and everything like that. It's I like the fact that we're splitting the way we feel in the verse from the way we feel in the bridge. It's almost like trying to show a balanced sort of perception of the situation from Mai Kuraki's part. There was an interesting filtering on that drum fill that we had there. I wasn't quite sure how to feel about it initially, but there was enough low end there to not really need to have those kicks as punchy as they may have been otherwise. So it's fine. too, and great ethno groove on the kit, flowing through. So much love in this beautiful world. Great way to start an interlude there. There's a sense of hope and optimism there. I'm wondering if this is the twist in the tale, you know? She's off the top of her range, if I'm not mistaken, or getting pretty close to it, but she's holding her presence there really, really well. And is that the backing vocals or the side pan vocals there are keeping a sense of connection to what we had previously in that chorus part, which is good. It's really articulate and kind of amazing how she structured all the stuff together, you know? Oh, that shift there. With the really happy, kind of plump, youthful, vibrant synths there. All we need is love, if I'm not mistaken there. I like how I've come to this realization at this point of the song. We had that sense of animosity and trepidation earlier on, but now we're like, no, we need it. Let's just go for it. Let's take a chance, you know? Great development there thematically. Oh, we're modulating to the minor? Interesting sequence there, you know, you can get away with that kind of intense minor shift if you have a similar way of approaching the ascension there. I didn't like the fizzy stuff there though. That was a weird fizzy sound I had there, and I knew what they were going to go for. They were trying to split into a new part or have it as a transitory device, but don't know why they needed that. Although I suppose if they had the whooshy synth, it might not have sounded the same. You know, the one at the start when we, you know? She's whispering in my ear now. Okay, it's cool. I think the reason why we have that pan so heavily to your left or your right at the moment is because she's kind of lying next to you in this, and that's a really intimate experience. And it's something that I don't hear enough of. People getting really, really creative with the way that they put their vocals in the mix, you know? You can put it on that side and have someone whispering in your ear. You can have the rest of this part in the mix. You can have that emptiness there in the center just so that you kind of tone back and it's kind of a little bit unpredictable. Great finish here. Nice one to conclude on. We wanted to conclude on that. I wish we could stay together as one. And I think that's a lovely thing. I like that. There's no forcefulness there. We're just talking about our well wishes, our wishes for a brighter future together. You know, I think that's a beautiful thing. Stunning, because this is the conclusion for this. I feel as if I've got a good enough understanding of the lyrics at this point. The story, I believe, is about someone who's trying to figure out if they're going to have a relationship or a connection to someone, and they're talking about inevitably wanting to take that risk and just being like, look, love is super important to me. I really wish we could stay together. And that's probably enough for them at that point in time. And I like that development of the understanding of the situation and what's appropriate for it. I think that's really cool. And it's a nice way of approaching that connection between two people on Mai Kuraki's part. The singer, she's an exceptional vocalist. Great technique, stunning use of the different parts of her range to guide the different parts of the vocal harmony, both in the center and the sides. Not so cool in response there. Lovely pad-like effect with the background vocals to contrast with her more direct sort of way of approaching it. And then the panning on the sides of those vocals in the last chorus was really creative and impressive. Additionally, I really appreciated what Mai Kuraki did in regards to like the structure of the song. You know, like it was nice to have that dedicated interlude there where we actually had something different. Sometimes people will just let there be an instrumental section, or they'll just have a redevelopment of the story, and it's like, whoa, you've already instantiated what you want. We need a twist. We need a different angle on it. And for her to go for that majorish tone and talk about how like everyone loves love and love is amazing and stuff, all you need is love. I think that's kind of gorgeous, and it evokes a sense of innocence, but also not just innocence. If you think about it, who doesn't want to be loved, right? You know, the way that we had everything set up in regards to the guitar, the drum. Do we have guitars actually? We might have not have had guitars. I don't know if we had guitars in here. My brain is like there might have been at some point, but there were definitely the drums, the bass, the thin parts, electric keyboard, the little bits of Foley effects, the kind of the noises like the I wasn't a massive fan of, but nonetheless understood why it was there. There wasn't a super complicated arrangement or accompaniment to what Mai Kuraki was doing. I think primarily because she was a great singer, she doesn't really need much else to be interesting. And also, if this is a single, you don't want to overcomplicate the arrangement, because what will happen is people won't know what to pay attention to. So I think there were some really interesting, distinct sections in here, like the verse part and the chorus part is identifiable. I roll with those triads, and a lot of the extensions of those harmonies came from the vocal parts. The drums had great eighth note grooves that they stuck with. They didn't just go for the chord note accents, you know, occasionally you had some 8ths and 16 parts. But also, we didn't try to speed it up. We had a leisurely pace to it, and it made sense as someone trying to figure out where they stood in life with this other person. The production, the recording, you know, mixing and mastering, etc., was great. You know, it sounded like something released by a major label. She was placed really well in the mix, and I liked that, again, for the final time, the panning of the vocals down the light side. And then at the end there is testament to not only having people involved with the recording and songwriting stage that know what they're doing, but also the people behind the desk knowing what's appropriate to really give it that X factor. And I really don't know how they could have improved the post-production side of things. Mai Kuraki not only has herself an absolute banger of a track on her hands, but also had everyone else involved that needed to make it great. And I think that they smashed it with this. It's a song like a love romance kind of song that I can get behind, and I enjoy it. And that's often quite rare, because I've heard a lot of them and they tend to get boring, but I wasn't bored by this one. But thank you very much for watching this review, or this SP Patrons video, for Mai Kuraki's Tonight I Feel Close to You. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show Mai Kuraki some love via the various social medias, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on. And thanks to Yum Ren again for the SP Patron suggestion. And yeah, Spiderhands Out.